Good evening and salutations, my Days of Our Lives fans. I gotta sit there and say that I am okay. I know that is the devil that is, possessing Johnny, but I gotta sit there and say that I am loving, um, this bold, this confident Johnny, even if it's not him. Um, Not that I have a problem with the, way Johnny originally is, but this one is just like he's supercharged, and it's just great watching. And it's just exciting watching. Now there's a point where Gabby and Jake are plotting because that's literally what they do. Talking about Johnny and the shares and everything like that. And I like to call him P Johnny. So P Johnny just walks up like, "Oh, I hear you are saying my name in vain." And so they get to talking about the shares and stuff like that, and how you know, Jake is like, hey, listen, even though we're not employees, we still hold like shares and stuff like that. Like we're still in the game, and I figured we could sit there and help each other out. Now, during that time, there is, you know, Johnny or P Johnny is heavily, flirting with Gabby, talking about, oh yeah, you definitely grown since the last time I saw you and stuff like that. And Jake is like, I'm sorry, what? He just has that the first time he's like, okay. So, you know, Johnny's like, yeah, I'm interested or whatever, blah blah blah. Like he seems like he's interested. Then once again, he heavily flirts with um Gabby, and this time Jake just has that look like he's angry, but he's also just like he's angry, but he's also like, wow, that's just really bold. You're just gonna sit there and flirt with my girl like right in front of me, like I'm not standing right here, you know. So he leaves, and Jake is like, oh, did that little punk just sit there and try to flirt with you in front of me? And Gabby's like, we can sit there and use this to our advantage. I'm like, listen, I get y'all want to try to get into this power position and stuff like that, but you're bro, you're basically. I mean, here's the thing. I know it's her idea because she was like, we can use this towards our advantage as far as getting one over on Jake, getting one over on Johnny, and fulfilling our plan. That plan requires you practically dangling Gabby like some sort of sex object to Johnny. So that's where you can get into that better position. I was like, bro, is that really worth it? I mean, I know she said it, but I'm like, bro, you actually want to go along with this, right? Like, there has to be another way other than, her flirting with Johnny and you just being like, hey, well, it's for the greater good. Like, come on. Like, at some point, I'm going to be honest, I did really enjoy this episode. I did. There is one part of this episode that I was just like, why? And take a guess. Take a wild guess of the part that I was just like, why is this necessary? And that is the Brady and Chloe scene with Nancy. Oh, and thank y'all so much for letting me know her name because I'm gonna be honest. I was just like, I guess I'm just gonna sit there and call her Chloe's mom. Until the sad thing is that they still didn't say her name in this episode, and it's like, so what are we supposed to sit there and do if I don't know her name? I mean, I guess I got to look it up. I'm like, would I have to go through all that legwork? Why can't you just sit there and say what her name is once? We should all kind of be on somewhat of the same page. And like, what are y'all doing? Anyway, first of all, Nancy comes in there and she's like, why haven't been, answering my calls or whatever? And Chloe's like, well, listen, I don't want to sit there and talk about Philip and blah 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 blah. And, her mom was like, this isn't about Philip or anything. This isn't about you or Philip. And I'm sitting there looking at this whole thing like, Chloe, not everything revolves around you. Just FYI. Anyways, this whole stupid side story of, her husband, she's sitting there thinking her husband's having an affair and blah, 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 blah. And, Brady and Chloe is sitting there trying to talk her down because she's about to go to Dallas to try to find out what's going on. And I'm just sitting there thinking, why, I'm be honest, I can care less about that, that whole entire storyline. Like, I just didn't care. And it was just like, can we get back to the fun stuff? Like, let's get back to Jake and Gabby. I'd rather sit there and get back to that than, like, Chloe and this stupid, um, her husband is not there stepping out on them. And yeah, I've made a joke saying that at some point, like, all right, like, you still like out there running around being with somebody like you're towards the third act of your life. Like, what's the final step, more or less? Like, really, really, you just. I made a joke about that. And then somebody would sit there and remind me of Brooke Logan. So there's that. But my point is, it's still just like, bro, really? I mean, that's not to say that he's doing it, but just the idea is like, bro, like, how old are you? Anyway, that's it is one part where Nancy's like, oh, I thought that you and Brady were gonna get together and stuff like that. I'm just like, I'm gonna be honest, I really don't care. I don't even, the thing is, I really don't even really care that much about Brady's character or Chloe's character, and seeing them as a couple is like, all right, yeah, whatever. So that's just the speed bump in this show. But listen, if you like those two, if you like Brady, I, I don't know. I just remember when I first saw his character, and that's when I was in there looking at, I called, what I call her? Hot Sarah. Called her Hot Sarah. Um, and this, the first time he sniffed there seeing Brady and his idiotic plan of taking Titan down from the inside, and just all the different ways why that wouldn't work. And just a simple fact is like, bro, listen, Kristen stabbed your grandfather in the heart. And you're just like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna sit there and take down Titan. I'm gonna get back at my granddad for doing that thing that was really terrible. But she stabbed my grandfather in the heart. So to be honest, he's not exactly giving me the best impression, and he hasn't been giving me the best impressions moving forward. And Chloe just disappointed me towards the end. In the beginning, I liked her. And then I'm gonna be honest, like her and Paris on B&B just was like, wow. So that's really how you are. Okay, well, I guess beauty isn't exactly everything. So yeah, you got the devil. Well, you got the devil pretending he's EJ um kissing Abby and Chad walking in there like he's about to snap his neck, and then he leaves. And so at this point, Chad's energy totally changed, and Abigail's just like, that makes no sense. And even Chad is like, that doesn't really make a lot of sense, but he's so mad that he goes on the stand and practically just tries to bury EJ. And there's one point where Abby, where Bella's like, yo, you said something, and Melinda was like, what? So did you talk to the witness? Because you know you're not supposed to do that, right? And now she's standing there with this little smirk on her face. And here's the thing about Melinda. Well, Melinda's hot. So there's that. But the little smirks on her face, I'm just like, how many times did you fail and get the wrong person? And this is just the stuff that I saw. So her, being all smiling, acting all super confident, stuff like that. When everything is said and done, when the light, when the truth is out there, and she realized that she prosecuted yet the wrong person again, I'm sitting there thinking, Abe, what is her track record so far? And she's still the DA because, like, why? Listen, I like her. Well, I to be honest, I actually think that she's just hot. But I don't hate her character, but I'm just like, bro, she keeps literally messing up on all these trials that she thinks she's got the right person. And then, the follow up there's no apology, there's no nothing. And apparently, you can just lose as many times as you want and just still keep your job. So that's amazing. Um, anyway, yeah, Chad buries him, and then Lucas comes on the stand and he starts to try to bury him. But at this point, and yeah, Johnny did get up in Chad's face. Um, but here's the thing, though, when Lucas went there doing his testimony, Bella's like, how do we know that you didn't sit there and kidnap her? You know? Now Melinda tries to stop the oh, and by the way, before I get on that, there was one point that the judge, when Chad got back up there, and the judge was like, "Oh, I guess you're done with your little coughing fit. Your little dramatic coughing fit." I'm like, bro, do you not understand how cough works? You not understand how coughs generally work like that? Like, you're not doing it on purpose. The fact that he was like, "Oh, your little dramatic coughing stance, your little coughing fit." Oh, I'm sorry, sweetheart. Are you a doctor now? No? Then why are you talking like you one? The fact that he played it down was just like arrogant piece of like I'm not gonna lie, that annoyed me. Anyway, so Bella sits there and tries to turn the ties, or at the very least, kind of throw out his testimony or whatever, just kind of muddy it up a little bit. I basically snitches saying, "Yo, I sit there and think that you might have done it. Where's your alibi?" Oh, or you don't really have an alibi because Philip isn't here anymore. But EJ, like a dumbass, and I think the name is Herman, I think, wasn't there commenting just like how some of these characters who are supposed to be smart and everything, just making them come across as stupid. Like, EJ blew up. He blew up and he was like, literally, I'm gonna kill you in front of a judge. So at this point, Melinda can't help but smile, and I can't even sit there and say anything because I'm like, bro, are you kidding me? So after it's all over, um, and Lucas like, well, can I sit down or whatever? And the judge was like, well, no, I pretty much tell you when to sit down. It was like, bro, like, I mean, you're getting on a little power trip, B. Maybe somebody sit there and take a look at you. But after he leaves, court's adjourned. Bella just has that look when she turns around. She's just like, WTF? Are you kidding me? You're literally making my job harder than it needs to be. On top of that, you're a look. This guy's a lawyer. I just want to remind everyone that on top of the fact that he's a CEO and everything like that, he's smart, he's calculating. He's also a lawyer. You literally just buried yourself. You didn't. Lucas. Okay, Lucas did you dirty. Cool, but you just helped him. You just helped him and Chad bury you. I started talking at this point. Bella's like, at this point, Bella's like, I just hope that whatever I don't understand with Lucas kind of, did something. Now, Chad and Abby are sitting there talking. Chad is pissed off. Abby wants to know what he had to say. But Abby's also just like, because at first Abby was like, was you going to say he was innocent? But, Abby's also sitting there looking at this whole thing like, Ichi's action just didn't really make a lot of sense. He's in love with or obsessed with Sammy. And whatever they had was a long time ago, so why would he sit there and do that? Hell, even when Chad was in there talking to Kate, even Kate was like, it almost seemed like he wanted you to bury him on the stand. Chad just has that puzzling look on his face. And I'm like, see, this is the reason why some of this stuff is just not making a lot of sense. And I get it. It's a soap opera, but it's one of those things where it's like the plot is more important than common sense, even from a character standpoint, you know. And I get it. Chad was upset, but I think when he calms down, he's going to be like, that didn't really make a lot of sense at all. Anyway, with that being said, I think that's about it. I want to thank you all for watching. Be safe. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video.